Welcome to today's live studio art session with me, Cynthia. And today I'm just gonna wing it, and I have with me today my granddaughter, Mia.
Hi.
Mia is sitting over to my left, and she is going to be working on some art herself today. So maybe she'll decide that she wants to share some of that with us later. So today I'm really coming at this with no plan whatsoever. I don't know. As the summer is nearing the end here, I've been finding myself not remembering what day of the week it is. So today what I thought might be kind of fun would be just to work some more with these liquid watercolors that I started working with last week. And I want to just use blue mostly. I want this to be a session that's all about blue. I was up in northern Michigan for an art show opening on Friday, and there were storms as we were coming back, and the clouds were just amazing. So I thought maybe today I would just try to paint some sky things from memory, just like how the sky looked and the clouds. I don't know. I'm going to do some abstract cloud-like ideas today. Mia, what are you thinking that you're going to work on over there?
I'm probably just gonna play.
That sounds good. That's always fun to do.
Yeah, so far I got orange and like dark purple.
Orange and dark purple on your paper. And she's got Neocolor 2 water-soluble crayons. And then you can just, add the water and paint, and that can be a whole lot of fun too. So I'm working once again on these really small, I think these are 2x3 papers. This is not very blue, is it? It's really rather green. I was trying to mix more blue into that green. I guess I'm going to go ahead and add some of this directly from the dropper here. I bought 3 primary colors plus burnt sienna to sort of mix my own colors. And I want it to look a lot more blue than it does. Or maybe even gray. I'm over here mixing this. Let me just do this here so you can see it. I'm going to get a dropper here, and I'm going to put some more of this burnt sienna in this green and see if I can't tone this into sort of a gray blue instead of green for my skies. So this first one is, that's still looking very green. Wow, look at that. These colors are really pretty intense. So if you're just joining me today, I don't really have a plan. I was going to try to paint some skies, but my blue-green is looking a little green. So I'm going to set that aside and go and get some other blues over here. And also I have my granddaughter with me, and she's off to the side doing a little artwork of her own. So let's see what comes of today. The summer is winding down here. School starts next week. Mia, how do you feel about starting school next week?
I'm excited. I got all of my school supplies last week, and I really like my backpack.
Oh, you gotta love your backpack.
Yeah.
That's good. These are not looking like the skies that I was imagining. Let's set these aside for a minute. We'll start another one here. I don't know what I'm trying to achieve here. I think I want a nicer, I want a darker blue. I want it to be more stormy kind of blue. A little bit of burnt sienna to this. I told Mia, I said if she wants to show us her art, she can. Mia did actually enter she entered a portrait that she did at school last year into the fair. Our fair, community fair, has lots of different hobbies and agriculture exhibits, and she got third prize for her self-portrait, which was fun for her.
Yeah.
So that's more like what I was looking for here, sort of I wanted a stormy sky. If you're just coming in here, I was up north in northern Michigan last weekend, and on the way home on Saturday it was really rainy off and on, and the skies were just so interesting with these storms coming in. And so I thought, well, I kind of want to try to just make some sky-like abstracts here. I don't know how sky-like they are, but I'm just going to play around with that. It's kind of a small piece of paper to really make it look a lot like a sky. This one definitely looks more like, I don't know what. Not sky. This one doesn't really look very sky-like either, so let's just keep going here. Mia's starting another piece of paper. You've got some big paper over there, Mia.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I'm going to go over here. Okay.
I think this time I'm going to use colored pencils.
Okay, colored pencils. I'm going to add water first this time and see if that helps me achieve what I'm imagining in my mind's eye. You know, that's one thing about the way I like to work is I don't really like to work from reference photos. And I know a lot of people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'll be driving and I see clouds and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could stop right here and paint this sky right now. Because I like to paint from life. And, you know, I do take pictures of clouds, but then I find when I'm looking at them, it just doesn't inspire me the same way as when I'm seeing it in real life. Somehow it just, real life, it's I don't know, more inspirational and easier to, not easier to paint, but maybe a little, I don't know, when you're looking at a photo, to me, it's just a lot harder to feel like it's inspiring. But I do know a lot of people do paint that way, so that's good. I don't know where I'm headed with this. I kind of like this one better than any of the other ones I've done so far. Okay, let's see what Mia's up to over there. Oh, more art supplies. Okay, that kind of looks more like a stormy sky, doesn't it? And, you know, as we were driving, you could really see, if you've been in Michigan before, you know this, but parts of Michigan, the northern parts and the middle part of the lower peninsula is really flat and agricultural. And you can see really long distances, and so you can kind of see the rain as it's coming down in the distance. It's pretty cool to watch a storm come in that way. If you live in flat lands, I suppose you know what I'm talking about. Okay, what did I'm going to come back to this one and see if I can add some more and get more of a stormy look here. I think I'm really getting clouds here. Wanted to get some clouds, but
I like the dark green one.
this dark green one
Yeah.
right here. Yeah, this is kind of interesting.
I like that one and the purple one.
This one right here.
Yeah.
This one right here. We've got this one. I can zoom out a little bit. People can see those a little bit better. And this green one, get rid of some of this water. I need a paper towel. Well, you know what might be interesting for this one? is to add some, I have this, and I've used it before. I really like this. It's called Brusho. And I'm going to zoom in though first. I'm trying to look at my camera and make sure I'm zoomed in properly here. Okay. Because if I use this Brusho, you can't see it unless I'm zoomed in. It's that crystal powder. And I like to kind of add that sometimes and see what happens to the wet. It starts to I don't know what the right word, bloom, blossom, spread out. Add a little bit more water here so you can see what I'm talking about. It's kind of a cool effect. So I'm going to try to pick some of this up. And well, this was supposed to be a sky, and it's pretty green. A green sky. Why not?
Skies can be all colors.
Yeah, I think so.
This morning it was a pink sky, like a peach kind of
you
sky.
were up early this morning, Mia. 6:30.
Yeah.
6:30 in the morning, and yes, I didn't even see that. I think I was still sleeping. Okay, that's kind of fun. Let's do some more with this right here. Maybe we'll add some more of that Brusho because that was kind of fun. Okay, I finally, I've got turquoise and ultramarine. How about a little bit of ultramarine on here? See what happens. I do love this stuff. You just sprinkle a little on and then let it spread around. It's so fun. Add a little spritz of water maybe. It's pretty wet already. That's kind of cool looking. That is really cool looking.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty. It kind of looks like fireworks.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? There's another color here. This is turquoise. Let it spread out. Well, I don't know if these are actually looking like skies, but that's okay. That probably doesn't really look like a sky anymore. Maybe it does. Showing it to Mia over there, who's painting and drawing away. Oh, she's drawing a cat.
Yeah. A cat on a cloud.
A cat on a cloud. Love it. Well, I like that. That's kind of fun. All right, so let me zoom back out a little bit. I don't really like the way this the bottom of this looks. Not that I'm trying to create works of art here. I mean, works of art, masterpieces, but just kind of trying to see what else I can do with these. just using, you know, really just focusing on trying to use blue today and a little bit of this burnt sienna and see what I can create with it. This was, you know, I was thinking I was using blue and I added blue to green but not enough of it, so it's pretty green. But these other ones I'm trying to have them be mostly blue with a little bit of that burnt sienna. Kind of like using limited palettes sometimes. So this is just a little play today. You really came up here without, you know, having anything particular in mind. But I love these P.H. Martin, Dr. P.H. Martin, I think it's called, liquid watercolors, because the colors are so intense. I have them watered down quite a bit here, but these are just really kind of fun. This one's already pretty wet right here, but maybe I'll put a little bit more of that in here. And add a little bit of this ultramarine in here. Oh, these are just abstract. I really wanted to create some skies, but I don't think they're really looking very sky-like. Oh, that's all right. I don't know, maybe after they dry, they will look a little like landscapes. If you've been here before, you know that I like landscapes. Hello, Blue Sea. That's a perfect name for what I'm painting today. I'm painting just with blue. So I don't know if you were asking about these. There's a little bit of delay. This is the colors that I'm not using all of these colors. This is the liquid watercolor that I'm using today. And I have only 4 colors. And then this might be the other thing you're asking about. This is, it's called Brusho. And these are powdered watercolors, I guess you could say. I have to admit, these are pretty pricey, but that's because this will probably last me the rest of my life. There's a lot of powder in here. It comes from England. Am I a beginner in drawing? No, not really, but I'm not really drawing. I like to paint, and I just like to do abstract work right now. But no, I've been drawing and painting, mostly drawing, since I was 9 years old. And I'm many, many, many decades older than that now. And I don't really draw so much as I just like to play with abstract painting. And yeah, that's what I do now. All right, so that's what these are. These are just simple little abstracts, just using 2x3 inch papers and a few different colors. Today I'm mostly wanting to work with blue, but like this one is not blue. But I was trying to turn a green I had into a blue-green, and it didn't quite get blue enough. Okay, so let's see what else we can do with this one here. I want this to be, I've got this is straight out of the bottle, and it's a little too intense for me. Maybe I'm going to mix it with a little bit of this and get more of a purpley blue. Well, that's pretty intense. That's going to be too purple. Add more blue to that. Oh, that's still really, really purple, isn't it? Really wanted to work with just blue. Well, let's go with it. Let's just go with it. seconds. I think that's okay. Oops, it's my glass bottle. And maybe get a bit more of this in here. Oh, yep. I do use those kinds of water brushes also. Blue C asks, why don't I use a pen that has water inside of it? Well, I have used them many times. In fact, when I paint outside, I use a lot of that because, yes, it's, you know, pretty easy to paint when you don't have to be reaching for water all the time. I mean, not easy. It's just kind of nice to have a water brush. Yeah, I do have water brushes. I'm just not using them right now. So these are kind of fun. All right, I've done quite a few here. I've got 4. Kind of puttered on those, but I've got usually end up doing 10 of these in a live stream because why not? This one's kind of turning out pretty interesting. I like the way this one is. All right, let's see, what else? I'm going to spray this with some water off camera here. And I was really trying, I don't really have enough, I really should have had more cups to mix colors in. These are some paper plates here that I was really hoping to create some darker. Oh, that's pretty nice and dark now. Maybe not blue enough. Oh yeah, look at that. There's some blue. Ah, that was what I like that. That's pretty fun. Let's let that do its thing for a minute. And maybe get some on here. This is a dry piece. Get rid of some of that extra water there. I have my microphone a little bit far away from me. I don't know if people can hear me. I kind of have forgotten that it's off to the side because I have my granddaughter working over here so that we can both chat every now and again. And so Blue, see, you're asking if it's the same thing but a different technique using the a water brush versus a regular brush. Yeah, it's just that the water brush has, I mean, if that's what you're talking about, a water brush, it just has water in it, so you're not reaching for water all the time. But I guess you can control your water a little bit more with a regular brush than you can with a water brush. You have to squeeze the water brush at times to get more water coming out. Let's see if I can do some subtractive work here with this. These are just little studies. See if I can zoom in here a little bit. Oh, Lucy, thank you for saying that. You can hear me. Okay. Because one time my granddaughter and I she did an interview with me and we were kind of yelling, thinking that people couldn't hear us. And it turned out kind of loud and yeah, at times. Anyway, and today I was kind of talking softly, thinking I was speaking into my microphone on my iPhone, which is right in front of my face. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'm talking too quietly. Well, I think this one turned out kind of interesting. And this one, I don't know. I was trying to see if we could take some of the cloud, make clouds in here. Let's see if we can do that a little bit more. It's the wrong color brush. So I'm trying to dry these off a little bit and pick up more of that color. Soften it up. Well, if you're, I'm going to probably paint, let's see, how many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 4 more. I was thinking, on Wednesdays I do watercolor. On Saturdays I've been working on these mixed media panels, and I haven't had a chance to catch up with doing any long form videos where I show you some of the final results of some of my panels. So I was actually thinking today that I might show a few of those, but I actually honestly don't know if I have the same audience on Saturdays that stop by here on Wednesdays. So I wasn't sure, but I was thinking at the end of this I might show a little bit more of that work um, that I've completed, and maybe I'll still do that. But okay, so this one I'm going to set aside. I really like this one. I don't even want to do anything to that one. I really like that blue. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again this time. I want to put some of this, spray this with water. But I want to go back to this blue I started, and I want to see if I can make it a little bit more, even more gray or blackish. Is that too brown? Maybe. Maybe it is. Ooh, that's pretty dark. I like that. It's kind of an interesting effect. I like to see what the water's going to do, you know, with the color, how it moves it around on the paper. It's one of my favorite things about watercolor, is to just play around with it. So I kind of like that, and I want to add it to this one. I don't know what it's going to do because, oh yeah, the paper is still wet enough. Mia, how's it going over there? My granddaughter's painting away or draw. Oh, she's drawing a cat on a cloud.
Yep, it's going good.
Are you going to share it with us after a while?
Yeah, I'm not done though.
Okay, well, hopefully she'll finish her cat on a cloud, and we can see that before the live stream is over. Oh, I really like these two colors together. I really like that a lot. Okay, so I'm going to put that one over here now and go back to this one, and I like this one. I want to get some of this excess water off this edge. Alright, so let's see, where did I have a brush that has... I kind of lost my ultramarine blue though because I just created that brown. I'm going to try mixing up another different kind of blue here. And I want it to be grabbing some of that dark that I created over there. I don't know if that's... Just adding a little bit more of this sienna. See if we can... I really liked that. How did I get there? It seems greenish. Seems too green. I don't know, let's go for it. It is pretty green. I guess it's a dark blue green. And I wanted to have a little bit of sky in this one, but not this. I don't want it to be this brilliant blue. That's too blue. I'm gonna mix it. What have I got to mix it in? That's gonna be too brown. Let's see. I'll go back over to here. Mixing it on this paper plate. Okay, that. That's better. So really, I'm trying to use mostly the blue that I have with burnt sienna. And I guess maybe I mixed in, there was some of this, the red. Basically, I have 3 colors plus burnt sienna. This one is phthalo blue. This one is quinacridone magenta, and then I've got this yellow that is Hansa yellow medium, and then this burnt sienna. So all the colors that you see here, everything that I've done is just literally with those 4 colors. That's all I've got here on my palette. A bunch of jars and a couple of dirty paper plates. No, they're not dirty. They were from another experiment that I was doing with these actual colors. So yeah, that kind of turned out kind of interesting, I think. These are not, brilliant. I mean, the saturation is great on these, but these are the more, brightly colored ones. And this one here, but I like the more muted tones that you can get with these. Okay, so let's see. I've got 3 more here. I don't know if I really... How are you doing on your drawing over there, Mia?
I'm doing good.
Are you almost finished your drawing?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
All right, I'll paint a little bit longer and see.
I'm doing the sky like you.
Oh, you're doing the sky. All right. All right. Mia's working on a much larger piece of paper than I am. So let's see. I've got more paper, so let's just go for it. I'm gonna move this around. And am I all the way zoomed out? Okay. I've got more stuff here. I feel like I started out trying to, achieve some sky-like looking pieces, but I don't know that I really managed to do that. I don't know. I wanted, I was inspired. If if you weren't here at the beginning, I was inspired by storm clouds, you know, in Michigan over the weekend. And I don't think I really came even close to what any of those look like, but I can just keep trying.
Yeah. What's your favorite one so far?
My favorite one so far, I don't know. I kind of just like this blobby one that's not much of anything but a blob.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I like this one because it looks almost like trees, and that one does look a little bit more like a storm is coming. This one too, maybe. Like maybe it's dark, starting to get dark, and it does. This one looks like it has, it's not a storm, but it looks like maybe those could be trees in the distance, and I don't know. That could be. I like to find landscapes in the things that I do, but let's see what we end up with here. I'm just picking up whatever colors I've got, and just this is that one I mixed over here on this plate with the red. This is really a very green. What happens if I add some purple to that? Ooh, these colors are just super intense. That's one thing I do like about, I have to admit, I really like about these P.H. Martin's liquid watercolors is that their color is super saturated. You know, you really have to work your paints to, you know, a creamy texture when you're working out of your regular watercolor palette to achieve those levels of saturation. So I said I was working with blue, and here I am over here with this is not blue. Put some blue in there. I think I'd like to get a different blue. This style of blue is really bright. I'm not sure I absolutely love it. It's maybe a little brighter than I like. Well, actually, that's kind of interesting. Sometimes, you know, I throw some colors down and I end up liking it more than I think I'm going to like it. This is one of them. Let me dry this off a little down here. I zoomed out. I don't know if people can see this now. But I like that. Okay. That's pretty cool. I like that one. I'm going to leave that. These are all kind of really different. I'm just really throwing down some colors here without too much intention, just to see what happens. Okay, these I'm going to do these last two and just kind of try to take the same approach. And like this one, after it's dry, I think you could come back in here and kind of add a few lines once it's dry, and you could really work with that as, you know, becoming some kind of a landscape. Okay. Put some Mia's humming over here, which is totally fine. I love it. She gets going in her art, and she just really likes to, she's really enjoying it.
I didn't notice that I was humming.
That's okay that you were humming. I like it. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Let's see what else. What other colors have I got in here? This was that other green that was pretty intense. It's really intense green. I kind of like this. I'm not sure I like that bright right there, but I kind of like this one. This green is too green for me. Here's purple. Let's add some purple because that's got some red in it. Oh, I guess it's dry up there. I was thinking it was not dry. Spread some water on there. Oh, I'm running out of a nice dry brush to vacuum up this. So these are just, having some fun with these, playing with these different, literally, isn't that crazy? In some ways, it really actually is. I mean, color is so amazing because I really am using 4 colors. A blue, a red, a yellow, and a burnt sienna. And just coming up with an amazing range of colors. And I'm going to back right out and you will be able to see how varied these colors are using just the same palette. So, and none of these are necessarily any kind of, work of art. It's just fun sometimes to come and see what, you can get, what happens when you mix 3 colors in different ways, 4 colors, and that's kind of interesting. So let's see, there's 10 of them there, and starting up here, this was the first one I did. I was really trying to just work with blue today, but as I went along, I didn't really have as many cups as I needed to kind of keep colors separate. I just kind of played with it as I went along. That's mostly the phthalo blue, just almost straight out of the bottle with some brusho, and using the burnt sienna with the blue, trying to get some landscapes. This was adding some blue to the red and got that purple. You can see some of the other purples that we got, a little bit more of a muted purple there. Really a bright green here too, and then sort of a bluer green. So yeah, really kind of interesting. This one I like a lot, as it turns out. I really like the way that looks. This one too. Anyway, I think it's really fun how you can kind of mix the different proportions and see these different colors that you create. So what I thought I would do now, for anyone who might want to stick around for a few more minutes, is move these aside, and Mia's working on her painting over here, or actually she's not doing a painting, she's doing a drawing, and when she's done she was going to show that to us, and then I was going to show you some of the work that for those of you who have followed me on Saturdays, some of my finished panels of my mixed media work. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just going to straighten this up a bit, move these aside so that I can have those here and show you what those are. So I'm going to set these all aside, and I will show you those. I think that's enough setting aside. Mia's getting writer's cramp over there with her colored pencils. One thing about painting is that your arms do not get tired. All right, so I have a few here. I hope that this isn't too long of a show and tell, but I'm going to go ahead and show you some of these that I have finished. These are all mixed media abstract pieces. It's mostly acrylic, watercolor, and collage. And some of these I started a long time ago. This one's called Someone Waited There. And I'm going to just put one right on top of the other here. That way, hopefully it won't take too long. This is a series of 3. This one's called The Signal Across the Distance. And this one goes with the one below it. It's kind of an outer space trilogy. Outer space triptych. Here's the 3rd one. This one is called They Followed a Light. And Mia, you let me know when you're done with your work. Are you done?
No, not yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay, and then this one is another trio of paintings. This one's called They Called to Us. I was working on that one recently in another live stream, and this one is called Out of Thin Air. So that one's finished. And then the 3rd one in that series, these just presented themselves to me as trees. I didn't start out intending to make them trees. This one is called, oh, hold on one second. Oh, a pencil sharpener. Mia is looking for a pencil sharpener. Yes, I do believe we have a pencil sharpener somewhere. Look, you might want to look. It's in a container somewhere. Maybe back. You got to look in the different containers. I don't have an electric pencil sharpener up here. This one is called Now They Sleep. So anyway, none of these trees started out as trees. If you can look at some of my live stream replays, and I'll try to link those, and you can see how they started out. This one, Mia named this one. This one's called Darkness Before the Beginning. And this one is called Sign from a Different Time. And here is At the Brink. You can really see that this one has a lot of collage. I really start with the collage, and then from there I add paint, and then if I start to see a landscape or see something happening, then I follow through with that. This one I really struggled with. This one is called As Above, So Below. This one's pretty, I thought I was going to do more with this, but then I said, you know what? I think it's finished. This one is called Mapping the World. And this one is On the Way There. And this one is the last one I'm showing you today. I have more, but I'm not going to get those out. Those are wrapped up. And I have some I have 4 paintings in shows right now, so those aren't here either. This one is called The Inner Reaches. So they're all pretty abstract, and I'll be working on more of these this weekend on Saturday. I have 4 more of these that I've already started, and I will continue with those. Here's what they look like right now. They start out as collage pieces like this. I was a little more deliberate with this collage than I have with some of the other ones, and this one. I was deliberately picking a certain type of collage paper for these, so that should be kind of interesting. And then these were ones that were started a long time ago. I added a little bit more collage. I added some paint, but then I sanded these. I wasn't really thrilled about any of these at the start. Look, this one says area contaminated. Some of these, the collage papers came from National Geographic magazines. Actually, these did too, but these magazine pages were altered. So anyway, I know a lot of people come here on Wednesdays for watercolor, and we did do watercolor. And you can catch it in the replay if you are just joining. And right now, we're just getting ready to wrap up. Mia's gonna, my granddaughter's here, and she's working on a cat on a cloud drawing, and she's almost done.
Done.
Oh, she's done. Okay, Mia, she's gonna show us her work that she worked on during the live stream today. All right, Mia. Nice. She did a purple cat on a pink cloud. The nice blue sky and hearts. I love it, Mia.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Mia just took third prize at our local community fair for a portrait she did of herself in school last year. So that's good. Thank you, Mia.
Mhm.
Thanks for sharing that. And congrats on your third prize award.
Thanks.
I think that that's all for today. I will be back on Saturday with a live stream, and I'll be working on one of these probably, or maybe even more than one of these. Mia, can you do me a favor? Mia's in the studio with me. Can you grab me both of those two paintings right there that are on the easel? There's two more of the mixed media ones that this is more the direction that I'm headed now, which is even more, maybe a little bit more abstract. This one, and I like this one better than this one. And in fact, I think I'm orienting it this way, aren't I?
Well, I found it like this.
Oh, it was like this. Yeah, maybe it is going to be like that. But the thing about these, that what I'm doing slightly different with these is that I'm using, I have this book that's about color, and it was written by a Japanese artist in the early 1900s, and it has some suggested color combinations in it, which are kind of interesting. So I chose a color combination for these, both of these two, and I chose the same geometry to impose over the collage on these, and then I used that palette. I think it was 5 different colors, and so I mixed the colors in together, and I used similar geometry, but this is what I came up with. So this is a color palette I would never have chosen on my own, so that's why I'm gonna